Hi, this is Walking and Talking Spirituality with Dr. Brian Russell, and thanks for joining me for another stroll. And as I'm out walking, it's a absolutely gorgeous sunny day in Orlando in January. One of the real benefits of Florida weather, at least in this time of year, is you can go out and just soak the rays, and it's nice and cool out here today, but the sun is warm, so it's probably going to get up into the lower 70s. Don't say that to brag, but in a sense of out of gratitude. And as I'm walking out here and as we walk along together, I'm thinking about over the last 30 years that I've been in active ministry, all the people that have come into my life. And one of the challenges of being a pastor, or in my case, both being a pastor and teaching in a seminary, is you see people come and go through cycles as you move into a new context as a pastor. If you move around from different churches, I've had the privilege of serving in 4 different contexts during my active ministry career. And now as a professor, obviously students cycle out every couple of years as they graduate. And one of my favorite kind of emails that I get is I'll get an email from someone who was in a class years ago, and this just happened yesterday, and I literally just got off the phone with the person. But the person had me back in 2003, 2006, and they start off the email, Brian, you may not remember me. And then they give their name, and what's so fun about that is I do remember almost everybody that I've taught, the names, and as soon as this guy told me his name, it just brought real warmth to my heart. And we think about, Paul, when his letters he writes, I thank God always whenever I think of you. And those are some of the blessings that if you're a spiritual leader or a pastor or whatever your role is, or a seminary professor like myself, is you get the blessing of working with people and then letting testimonies and testimonials kind of roll in over the years. So literally this guy had me in class almost 15 years ago for the last time, and he was calling me up to tell me all this good stuff that had been happening in his life. And what other career does that happen in? So thankful for that. I'm so grateful. And as I think about my own life, and again, we're talking spirituality here and these little walks, not only am I grateful, but it also encourages me to think carefully about myself in the long run. One of the conversations that I love to have with persons of any age who are in ministry is to try to have a long-term vision for life. Like, where do you want to be, not just now? Because a lot of times it's just, I just want to get through this class and do all right. But try to push people to really ask long-term questions like, where do I want to be in 5 years from now, 20 years from now, 25 years from now? And I ask myself that too. And this is the question I'm really pondering this morning. I'd love for you to think about as well. What kind of person do I need to become and even continue to be so that I can still be getting phone calls 15, 20, 25 years from now from people that I've impacted their life today with things that are going to stick? And I don't mean negative lessons, because obviously you can render up bad memories for people, but what kind of persons do we need to live like today so that we can be ambassadors of God's abundance in ways that make impact always and long term for the sake of the gospel? I know when I'm at my best, I live as a person who's deeply loved by God and allow that to flow through me. Let God's grace flow to me. The gospel comes to us on its way to someone else. So I ask you that question too. Who do you need to be